Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. And today we will talk about what legacy should a leader leave behind. And I'd like to know your answer in the comments below. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to slowly grow your problem-solving mindset. Now let's get down to business. This question of what legacy should a leader leave behind, I've broken it into three separate factors, and each factor is broken into three separate videos. And today we will specifically talk about or focus on the second part, or factor number 2, its root causes, and 2 tips to fix these root causes. And so factor number 2 of why we take a backseat towards our own legacy is because human beings are mostly reactive in nature. And this reactiveness can somewhat overshadow our proactiveness, right? Because if you ask yourself, we are, putting out fires at home, at work, and trying to solve one problem at a time that pops up out of nowhere. But are we really being proactive to sort out what problems we should be looking out for and actively eliminating them? Maybe you are, but most people don't, at least not me before a couple of years ago at least. And to understand this better, let's dive into the first root cause of why we are more reactive in nature, which is because of the fact that we wait until problems become bigger for us to do something about it, right? And if a problem isn't big enough today, then we tend to push it to the side until it becomes bigger tomorrow when we give that issue more attention, right? But to fix this root cause, the first tip that I'll share with you today is that think about contingencies to take control of your life. And what I mean by contingencies is basically scenarios that can completely turn your life upside down. And it can be something like finances, losing a job, or anything that can bring harm. And then start to think about what would you do if those scenarios became a reality, right? And that's how you can start to be more proactive and be prepared for the worst case scenarios, right? Now let's look at the second root cause of why reactiveness overshadows our proactiveness, which is because of the fact that when tomorrow comes around, often it is already too late and we have less time to implement the right solutions. And that's why we end up rushing into making changes that may or may not work because we have a lot less time. And my second tip to address this root cause is that always give yourself enough time. And not just that, try to buy yourself time while you have it. And so for example, if you have more time to solve a small problem today, do it instead of waiting until tomorrow and rushing into solving them, which can be more expensive than doing something about it today, right? And these are the pieces that make up the second factor. Now, in the third part, or part number 3, we will discuss the final factor, its root causes, and 2 additional tips. But before we move forward, I have one question for you. What would you do to fix the root causes we just talked about? I want you to think about it and leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this exercise, consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel to keep rethinking your approach about more problem-solving questions. I'll see you in the next exercise.